Okay, so after talking about all those issues, I think the best question to ask is, well, how do I avoid this, or most of it anyway? And the answer to that is a prenup. And that is basically a contractual agreement between two people who have to be married that basically sorts out the answer to a lot of these issues before you even get into them. So a lot of these questions that are popping up, you could decide the answer to before you even get married.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of stigma around what a prenup is, getting one. But realistically, a prenup is just like insurance. You never want to have to use your prenup, but if you have one, it makes your life a whole lot easier. So, like Katie said before, you can't use a prenup for custody, you can't use one for child support, but you can, use it in a roundabout way to determine the interaction between alimony and child support by saying that you want alimony to only kick into a certain amount if child support is at a certain amount. This is a contract, guys, so it's something that you and your future spouse are agreeing to together. And I mean, honestly, don't you want to be deciding these things together at this point while you still have some affection and endearment toward each other, rather than when you guys are going through a contentious divorce? Not that you think you're going to go through a contentious divorce, but in the event that you are going to go through a contentious divorce, where you're not thinking clearly because of X, Y, Z, the things that happened during your marriage or during your relationship. So I really think that when you're getting married, a prenup is something you should seriously consider and not just write off as something for rich dudes trying to hide some crap from a gold digger wife, because realistically, when we think about prenups, that's what we're all thinking about.
And I think that's the stigma, is that It's an asset protection device, which certainly it is. Certainly you can control support, certainly you can control assets, you can keep them from being divided. All of that's true, but another function that I think is, coming into style, I guess, is determining what the rules are going to be in a fair way, right. In an agreed upon way, which if we get divorced in 10 years and 5 years and 20 years, these are the rules we want to use. This is what we think is fair, because the rules are always changing. The child support law changed in 2019. The tax law changed in 2018. Spousal support was a taxable event in 2018. It's not anymore. And so the rules just keep changing. And, they're so subjective, where county to county, there's different ways that judges and magistrates use the exact same words, even without any change.
And so who knows if that judge or magistrate will be there when you guys get divorced, if you get divorced.
Right. And so, determining what the rules are going to be and how we want to act is another function of a prenup, which I think is underutilized, which is something to consider. And, the asset protection is a thing, but then this is, like you said, just here are the rules. We know what's going to happen if we get divorced. And it takes the financial stress and the worry out of making that decision, where hey, if I pull this trigger, I know what my support's going to be. I know what assets I'm going to get. And then the emotion of the children is all you're dealing with, if there are children. But at least that financial pressure and that worry about, hey, if I get divorced, am I screwed, is lessened.